the moment vacation. So I believe we've got the 4 board members, and we'll proceed on. So item B here, amending and approving the agenda. Deb, is there anything we need to amend on the agenda, or can we approve it as submitted?
We need
Can
to
I add something?
Yes, you can, Frank.
On recognitions, I need to add another chief's commendation, so a D. And then I need to add an introduction of a new officer, please.
Okay.
I failed to send that over, I'm sorry.
So a D and an E for a new introduction.
Correct, thank you.
And then item C, approving minutes. They're in draft only mode, so I'd like to postpone that to next meeting.
Okay, so what has happened to the agenda here? It used to be numbers.
Well, yeah.
We're into an
Well, they were there when we created it.
okay.
That's
all right. We can work with it as this. So we're just gonna table.
It's new format.
Item CA is gonna be gone. And we're gonna add items E, D, and E.
Correct.
I will make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
A second.
Mary,
Aye.
Glenn,
Yes.
Cindy,
Aye.
Galen.
Aye.
All right, then let's see. So item C, we're moving. So item D here, we have city warrants on financials. We have 3 separate lists for June 30th. So let me jump down to the first list and we'll just move one list at a time. So this first list, let me zoom it in here a little bit, is for $33,719.04.
So the body cameras and the car cameras. So Murma's paying for one of those, right? One each.
Murma is paying 70% of the 4 body cameras and 70% of the 1 body camera or the 1 car camera. And then the second car camera will be reimbursed fully from a grant that I got.
Okay, yeah, because I think the notation from last time was Murma was only going to cover 1 body camera and 1 car camera. So that's
So there's actually, yeah, it's four body cams. I probably sent the wrong number over. I'm sorry.
no, that's
So
great.
The process is here, we pay for it and then we submit the invoice to get reimbursed. Is that how it works, Frank?
It is.
Yes, that's
And
correct. I'm sorry, Deb. Go ahead.
So we should see a negative here eventually down the road.
Down the road, right.
Write it back.
Correct. It's been submitted and we're waiting for payment.
Okay.
So that's $33,719 is one.
Is
One
one
page.
warrant list. So we had grants, we had ARPA funds, we had MIRMA grants and federal grants that we were on deadline by the 30th. So that's why we have 3 different lists, because
Oh, okay.
we kept finding more that we had to approve and pay prior to the 30th.
Did we make it?
We did with 3 warrant lists.
Okay.
Right.
Pretty hectic.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve this first warrant list and $33,719.04.
Second.
Glenn,
Yes.
Mary,
Aye.
Galen,
Aye.
Cindy.
Aye.
All right. And moving on to our second warrant list in the total of $1,211.72.
Who gets to wear the chaps?
Don't ask.
Frank looks good in chaps. I've
Yeah,
seen it.
I tried to quell this thing, Frank. Sorry.
Secrets.
I'm surprised that, what does this fall under for Murma to help reimburse this?
Public
Safety
safety.
equipment.
Public safety?
Any,
Okay,
yeah, any kind of safety equipment. Public Works is required. They have a lot of requirements that Murma is
They're specified for kickbacks on chainsaws that they have to wear.
no. No, it's actually, going through Murma is really, it seems to be a really good benefit for our city.
Yeah,
Yes, it has been.
it's keeping us safe and keeping us from having any liabilities.
Right. Well, I make a motion to approve the second warrant list in the amount of $1,211.72.
Second.
Mary,
Aye.
Glenn,
Yes.
Gillen,
Aye.
Cindy.
Aye.
And then our last warrant list is in a total of $39,628 even.
And
this
we've
is
already-
for the
Yeah, we've
city.
already discussed this before.
Yeah.
So.
And
I will
Frank,
go-
when's the timeline on installation of the system?
Or say again?
What, I was just asking when the timeline was for the installation of this, or is this already installed and up and running?
My office is filling up with boxes as we speak.
Good.
So it's just a matter of when the install people can get here. I'm trying to reach out tomorrow to see if they can give me a timeline. I know that there's going to be a little difficulty getting a little bit of this equipment with the problems in the
Supply
delivery
chain.
system, supply chain.
Yeah, with the chip shortage out there, that's why I was sort of asking, have they given you a good list of everything they've ordered so you can verify that you have it there so they don't come out and then say, well, gee, if you could let us know we had these 3 things, we could have got it all done, but
They did. I got the most important part of the system today, so.
okay, the DVR itself.
Yes.
Good. Very good.
So who will have access to that footage on there?
Just
So-
me and one other officer and
Okay,
Well, Galen, I don't think it's web-based. This is all going to be network-based up there. So you would have to
right.
have an
right.
account to log into the DVR up there and see that.
Yeah.
So potentially the city administrator could get access to it as well.
Right. Okay, just curious.
And Frank, have you talked about Prado about this? Because I suppose there's going to be IP addresses required for the cameras, and so there may be some extensive amount of networking required.
I have not, Rob. I have
Yeah,
not.
it might be worthwhile to mention to Bob in the next day or so, because if we're going to have the DVR sitting on the network up there at City Hall, it'll have what's called an IP address that's unique to the city, to the City Hall. But then all these other systems typically need an address too, because they're all network cameras. And you sort of need to lay that out. They may throw that at you at the last minute, so it's probably good to get planned out. And if you know exactly, I think you know how many cameras we're getting. So you could have a spreadsheet, have it set up and say, here's your IP address, your gateway, and your subnet used for each one, and you're off to the races.
Maybe I'll just put him in touch with them. How's that sound?
Fine with
Make it
me.
easier for me.
Just speaking from experience.
Thank you.
All right, can I get a motion?
Yep, I'll make a motion to approve the third warrant list in the amount of $39,628.
Second.
I have 36,206.
No, I've got 39,000.
Yeah.
$39,628.
Oh, that's the next one, Mary.
Then there's 4 warrant lists.
Yes, there is.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Okay, so we're talking about this guy right here, though.
Okay, got it.
So did we got a second on that?
Yes.
Okay.
So Glenn,
Yes.
Mary,
Aye.
Galen,
Aye.
Cindy.
Aye.
All right, and last but not least, as Mary stated, we have a warrant list of $36,206.15.
Okay, I have to ask about the glow sticks. What's that?
It's for
That was
National
for
Night Out.
Halloween, right?
It's handouts for the National Night Out.
Okay, that'll be cool. That's good. And then the AT&T phones, those are the FirstNet phones. Those are the,
That's the FirstNet phones, yes.
right, so they have the better capabilities.
And we've got
It gives us the ability if the systems get locked up from overuse, these phones get priority.
And who has those phones? It indicates there's 6 of them here. How do those get allocated out?
Two at the police department, 2 at City Hall, and 1 at Public Works.
Okay, so that's 5.
Okay,
Three,
there's another one out there.
3 police department.
You're just testing me if I see if I count.
No,
wrong.
there's 4 at the police department.
4 at the police
My 2
department?
patrol phones,
Okay,
so I forgot those are FirstNet also.
okay.
All right.
And so those are unique numbers that are different from the duty phones and your phone?
No, those are the duty phones.
Those are the duty phones, okay. Might be good to share with the board those numbers, just so everybody's got a list of numbers they could contact if an emergency occurred. 'Cause,
I'll send it out by email tomorrow.
yeah, having the phones is good, but then the ability to connect with everybody.
So Frank, I have an updated list of employees, current employees and new numbers. So I'll send that out to the board.
Thank you.
Does it designate which one of these numbers are these special phones? The
It
prioritized?
does,
Okay,
yes.
good. Okay, great.
I'll make
The 7,700 going to Premier, was that the final payment for the HVAC?
That's for the warranty and 1 year maintenance. 10-year warranty on all units and 1 year maintenance.
How much is our yearly maintenance gonna be then, recurring through years?
$1,100.
1,100, okay.
It was very comfortable in there today.
Yeah, I was up there the other day. It was very nice as well. Yeah.
Good.
And you know, one of the best things is I was sitting in the boardroom and it's quiet.
Quiet.
I heard the system go on and you could barely notice it even spin up. So wasn't the normal tornado that we have.
Right.
Were we able to sell that old one?
We did. I think we got just a little under 500 for it.
But it's gone.
Yep, that's the key. It's no longer sitting there.
Well, our first paycheck was the utility bill, so
Right, right.
Okay, do you need a motion?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll make a motion to approve warrants in the amount of $36,206.15.
Second,
Ben,
yes.
Mary,
Aye.
Ellen,
Aye.
and Cindy.
aye.
It doesn't seem like there was much recycling over the last month because there was only 1 pickup. Usually it's like $400 and
That's how
something.
they bill, I think.
Yeah.
They're and where the month falls.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. We have a couple resolutions here to review. First item up is resolution number 591-22. Did I miss? Am I out of order here? I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
you're out of
Yeah.
order.
Yeah, damn.
E,
Rolling down.
You're out of order.
Oh, man. Okay, so we're on item E as an echo. So echo EA, Chiefs Recognition Award for Corporal Cody Umphris. Frank?
I'm gonna go just a little bit out of order if that's not too much of a problem.
I tried to do that and I got corrected, so.
But they like me.
Oh,
First
Yeah,
thing,
well-
I would like to introduce our newest officer, Nicholas Schmidt. Nick, raise your hand there and introduce yourself to the board and the mayor.
Hey, Nick,
Nick comes to us. He has some experience from another department. He has joined us, so we
Well,
are very
welcome
glad,
aboard.
to have him on board. So as part of our team. So
Welcome.
welcome,
Welcome
Nick.
to the city.
Thank you for joining
Hey,
us.
Nick, appreciate your help, so.
All right, I have some officer recognitions, and this is the same recognition for two officers. So I'm gonna read one recognition and include both of them. So Officer Shane Potter and Corporal Cody Umphris on July 2nd, 2022. You were both on routine patrol in the city park when you located an unoccupied vehicle parked next to the river. Check of that license plate revealed that the vehicle's owner had been reported as being suicidal. Footprints could be seen leading from the vehicle's driver door to the river's edge. You both began searching for the woman and noticed a pair of shoes in the tidal pool area of the river. The chief of police was notified. High Ridge Fire Department responded with a drone, and the river banks were checked with negative results. Several hours later, you both located the woman who said she had entered the river to end her life, but changed her mind when she started thinking about her children. After calling for an ambulance, you both made sure that she got to the hospital for help. Your concern and compassion to locate that woman are commendable and show your hearts for this community. I am proud to work with you both and recognize you with this certificate. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
That was very, very
Yep.
insightful. Thank you very much.
They looked for that lady all night long and finally found her. So it was a
Wow.
miracle. Absolute miracle.
And
Great
from what I
dedication.
understand, Frank, you said she was found way up by the city limits on, I guess, Burnsville Road as it comes up to PP.
Close to PP, right at our city limit sign.
And I told Chief, that's a heck of a long walk from the river up to there, so.
She went into the river with a paddle board, and she was not planning to come out. And there was a lot of teamwork went into that. And these two guys did a great job. I'm very proud of them. So,
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Yeah,
Fantastic.
appreciate the effort.
So next, I have a chief's commendation award for police officer Tanner Hart. On June 20th, 2022, you were assigned to conduct a welfare check on a suicidal subject of Burnsville Farms community. Another law enforcement agency indicated the boyfriend of a resident at that location was possibly going to harm himself. A description of the subject and his vehicle was given, as was the address of the girlfriend. You proceeded to that location and did not locate the subject or his vehicle. Being concerned for this person's welfare, you expanded your search to the area of the entire park, eventually locating the vehicle in another driveway. Upon checking the interior of the vehicle, you located that subject who had overdosed on prescription medication and was close to death. EMS was notified and transported the subject to a hospital. By continuing the search for the subject beyond what is required of the assignment you received, you quite possibly saved that man's life. It is with great pride that I present you with this green bar, which signifies a chief's commendation. Congratulations, Tanner.
Good
Very
job.
good.
Very
Good
nice.
job.
Tanner,
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
To tell you, there's, a lot of people in this world that would have went to that address and not seen anything and just left. And that's not what we instill here. We try and go above and beyond for this community, and I mean that.
Great.
So,
Always.
Yeah,
good.
we're very grateful.
Yeah, it definitely shows.
Police Officer Shane Potter for Chief's Commendation Award. On June 28, 2022, you were on duty and at the El Mariachi restaurant located in this city. You observed that a customer in the restaurant was having difficulty breathing. That customer began choking and placed his hand on his throat, indicating that he was in distress. He then started turning blue due to the lack of oxygen and began to lose consciousness. Without hesitation, you position yourself behind the customer, put your arms around his midsection, and perform the Heimlich maneuver, which dislodged the items blocking his airway. Your actions most likely saved that man's life. It is with great pride that I present you with this green bar, which signifies a chief's commendation. Thank you, Shane.
all right.
Very good.
Go,
guys.
Shane.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Good.
Y'all got a good bunch of officers, and I mean that. I'm very proud to lead them. So.
Yes, yes.
Absolutely.
Frank, your last story brings something to mind for me. And I've saw it and I thought about you when I saw it. There is a device that I don't think would be too expensive that every officer could have in their car or somewhere close. It's actually, it fits over the face and it's like a reverse plunger for choking victims. I think that would be worth looking into.
Okay, I'll talk to Jamie at the ambulance district about that, Glenn, and see what
Yeah,
and how we can obtain them. So,
okay.
okay, good, thank you. Officers, you are free to go. I appreciate you. You guys have a safe night. Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
for all the
you.
great work.
Thank
you do.
you all for joining. Nice to see you all.
Thank you.
Okay, Frank, you done with the recognitions now?
I am, thank you. I appreciate the time.
No problem, and thank you. And I think it's just a great reflection on all your officers, accommodations and recognitions like this are really good. And, the community needs to see this and understand what they're doing out there. So,
Yeah, and it's good for us to hear it too, because we don't hear everything that goes on, so.
exactly. Yep. Yep. Especially saving that lady. That was a big
Right.
effort. And Frank, I know you engaged the High Ridge Fire Department. They brought their drone down and they did, extensive amount of, that wasn't just a 15-minute, let's look around and no, she's not here and we're going to go home. So you guys put some effort into it and continued to look all night. So,
Yeah, I mean, we exhausted everything we could that night. There was
yeah.
no way to do anything more, so.
Yeah. And like I said, it still is beyond me how she got to where she was from being even at the city park. That's a long walk from the park all the way up to the city limits. So much less through the woods. But
Right.
anyhow. Okay. Item F, old business. I don't believe we have anything. Is that correct, Deb?
None.
Okay. Item
No old,
G,
no
new
new.
business. No new business as well. So now I can go on to legislation. Unfinished, first of all, resolution number 591-22.
I'll make a motion to read resolution 591-22.
Second,
Glenn,
yes.
Mary,
Aye.
Ellen,
Aye.
Cindy.
Aye.
Resolution 591-22, a resolution of the city of Burnsville, Missouri, authorize the city administrator to enter into and execute an agreement with Sector Technology Group for the purpose of police department body camera and in-car camera system. And if there's no discussion, I'd call for a motion to approve resolution.
I'll second your motion to approve.
Glenn,
Yes.
Mary,
Aye.
Ellen,
Aye.
and Cindy.
Aye.
All right, then moving on to item I, legislation new. We have three up here. First is item A, resolution number 593-22.
I'll make a motion to read resolution number 593.22.
Second.
Mary,
Aye.
Glenn,
Yes.
Ellen,
Aye.
Cindy.
Aye.
Resolution number 593.22, a resolution of the city of Burnsville, Missouri, authorizing the city administrator to enter into and execute an agreement with Cooper's Tree Service for the purpose of tree trimming. I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 593.22.
Second.
Glenn,
Yes.
Mary,
Aye.
Ellen,
Aye.
and Cindy.
Aye.
All right, moving on, item B, resolution number 594.22.
I'll make a motion to read resolution number 594.22.
Second.
Glenn,
Yes.
Mary,
Aye.
Ellen,
Aye.
Cindy.
Aye.
Resolution number 594.22, a resolution of the city of Burns Mill, Missouri, authorizing the city administrator to enter into and execute an agreement with Viper Trailer World LLC for the purchase of a dump trailer.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 594-22.
Second.
Glenn,
Yes.
Mary,
Aye.
Ellen,
Aye.
and Cindy.
Aye.
Then moving to item C, resolution number 595.22.
I'll make a motion to read resolution number 595-22.
Second,
Glenn,
yes.
Mary,
aye,
Gillen,
Aye.
Cindy,
Aye. Resolution number 595.22, a resolution of the city of Burns Mill, Missouri, authorizing a signature change on signature card and certificate of resolution of corporate board of directors, Enterprise Bank and Trust Company of Missouri. I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 595.22.
Second,
Cindy,
Aye.
Gillen,
Aye.
Mary,
aye,
Glenn.
yes.
All right. Now moving on to item J, we have administrators report.
I don't have anything other than tomorrow evening is a meet and greet at Pupillo's with, and they're going to have an update on different items going on in the county. One of them is the High Ridge beautification, the 1 mile sidewalk. So if anyone wanted to attend, it's from 6 to 8, I believe.
Okay. Assume that'll turn out similar to what they did down in House Springs with the little Main Street area there. So
Yeah.
it looks very nice and includes lighting and sidewalks. So,
6:30 to 8:30.
Yeah.
okay.
They're going to talk about the parks. What else was in there? Sheriff is going to talk. Some of the candidates running. That's all I have.
Okay. Well, thank you, Deb. All right. Moving on to department head reports. Deb, I know Bob's not here. Do you have anything to submit for him or?
I do. And my mind is blank because I didn't print it.
Ah,
So I
I'm
will
sure
send
you've
it out
got a
in
long-
an email for you.
all right. Very good. And we'll move on to Chief. Chief?
You hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
yeah,
I attended a meeting for Jefferson County Drug Prevention Coalition that focuses on law enforcement's involvement and the prevention of drug abuse in the county. I attended a meeting focusing on active threat situations with the Sheriff's Department, High Ridge Fire Department, and the North Jeff Big River Ambulance Districts. We have a second scheduled meeting for the beginning of August. The plan is that those meetings will culminate into some joint training. So we're better prepared for events that may happen down the road. Your new radar trailer has been put in service. I don't know if any of you have seen it out yet. We got a kind of a test report off of it. It's pretty neat how it works, and I hope to have a little bit of a thing put together for you at the next meeting, so you can see how it reads and the different graphs it creates. And the plan is to leave it out for about 5 to 6 days in one location, and then find a 2-hour period during the day when most violations are occurring, and start doing some directed patrols during those times.
Yeah, I've seen the trailer. It looks nice, Frank. And,
Yeah, thank you.
and that you think chaining it up is the best way instead of a hitch lock? And
Chaining it, yeah, we've got it, wherever we put it, Bob got us a cable, and we have a chain that's not real long, but if we're close enough to something, we use the chain instead of the cable.
Okay.
So that thing, obviously, 4 people could pick it up and throw it on a trailer probably pretty easy.
Yeah.
So, I
Have you-
already introduced a new officer. I attended a Lake Monowee subdivision meeting a couple weeks ago. One of our officers attended a week-long LETSAC training, which is the Law Enforcement Traffic Safety Advisory Council. This is put on annually by the Department of Public Safety and the Missouri Department of Transportation, and we get a lot of really good resources and information from these meetings or from these conferences. I am in the process of finalizing all the information for the flock cameras. Bob Sweeney has gone over the contract for me, and we've been back and forth, and I think we're pretty much ready to go on that. I should know more or have that done by the end of this week or very early next week. And wanted to let you all know that Reserve Officer Bill Alter has announced his retirement. His last court date will be August 9th, and then we're having a little bit of a reception for him on August 20th, which is a Saturday at 11 o'clock up at Spring Hill Church. So I'll be getting you all more information on that in the next couple of weeks. Bill has been in.
Go on. Yep.
Bill has been in the reserve program between Jefferson County and Burns Mill for 40 years. Actually, Caitlin Mary's on here. She's going to be doing a story on him in the leader. He's done 40 years in this job and has never received a paycheck for it. It's all been voluntary, and shows his heart and love for the community he lives in. So pretty neat deal. So anyway, wish Bill well, and I hope some of you can attend the event. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Frank. I was going to mention, when I was talking to Bill the other day, he said he's been with Burns Mill for 30 years. So he's been serving us. That's an incredible amount of time. So did you ever get him to change his weapon out and not carry his silver gun that he carries?
I was scared to try and talk out of it. I just let him keep it. So we're good. Thank you.
Great. Okay. Thank you, Frank. All right, Deb, moving on, and I'm sorry, Mary, I should have included you too. My apologies.
No worries. I have no report. Well, I can talk on the commission report from the planning board if you
Sure.
prefer.
Yeah. So Mary, anything to add from commission report perspective?
We had a good discussion at the last meeting. There were only 2 board members. It was a work session. So we just had discussion about the storage pods, the pod units, and we had a good discussion on the lot splits and the ordinances that Mr. Sweeney had provided to us. So we'll be getting that before, and then some sign discussions on the overlay districts. So we'll be bringing those back when we've got a full board, a full quorum with the planning board. But it was good discussion.
Now, when you mentioned overlay district, are you referring to along the Highway 30 corridor?
Yes, I am.
Good. Yeah, I think we had a struggle with what went on there with the church and that lighting that had to sort of be allowed based on our existing ordinance, but it'd be nice to see something reviewed, because I believe there's a lot of opposition from surrounding community, and a lot of it was not even but they were very, very interested and opposed to it. We like to, there's a lot to be appreciated with the natural nature. I know I always enjoy driving down Highway 21 and just seeing how pretty it is there, because they have specific, I'm not sure how that's ordained, but there's just not many signs on 21. Yeah,
I understand that.
Yep. So, well, great. Well, thank you.
You bet.
Mary, I do have a question for you. I understand you're also working on the ward re-layout to align more with the as of the 2020 census.
Correct.
And so my question is back on the signs, on our city limit signs. When are they going to put our new numbers on the signs? I mean, it's almost, we're halfway into 2022, and I've seen other cities, they have a little sticker that just goes there to reflect their current population.
If we've got the standard MoDOT signs, it would be MoDOT, so we can reach out to MoDOT.
Actually, I read that MoDOT is not doing that anymore. They are
Some
not
of them.
updating their signs.
I noticed in St. James, Missouri, we have a farm out there, and they updated their signs.
Well,
Yeah,
the cities may pay for it, I believe. I think that's what I read.
I see.
But MoDOT is not paying to have signs replaced.
Okay.
Well, it's a sticker, Galen, on the
Yeah.
sign. They just overlay it on there.
Yeah.
But, I think if we're going to introduce some ward redistricting to be better aligned with the current population, that it would be nice for people, if they saw that, to see, oh yeah, I see the signs are updated with the current population.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find that article on that.
Oh, great. At least current as of 2020. So. Okay.
I'll
Well,
reach out to MoDOT and see what's what also.
Okay.
And how is the ward process realignment coming? Are you getting anywhere with that? I know looking?
I
at
am. I have a lot. I've got, I was able to find a map that broke it down to population for the tract and block, which is the lowest number or the most detailed you can get. I've gone through it with the census tract, the block and tract, or the tract and block numbers. Now it's just a matter we're lucky. They split Burns Mill in half from one sheet to another. So that makes it kind of difficult to try and match up the boundaries. And now I have to superimpose the wards on this map because they do not recognize the wards. We will definitely need to change all of them. Ward 3 is quite out of whack and with too many, and Ward, 2 is really under, and Ward 1 is in between.
Right.
We've gone from roughly 1,000 in 2010 to 3,000 in 2020. So I do have the detail, and it's now just a matter of trying to get the ward boundaries, and then I'll need to get the addresses for all the existing elected officials, because that has to be respected to keep them in that ward also. So that's where I'm at.
Hey, Mary.
Yes.
When we redraw those boundaries, we need to make sure we remember to file it with the county, because last time we forgot and it messed up the election cycle. So I just would have, if I say it out loud, hopefully we'll all remember this time.
That's a good point, Allison, because I think Glenn had to vote for me one time when he was when I was alderperson, and he's like, I don't want to vote for Rob, I want to vote for myself.
Yeah, I actually had to sue the county a few election cycles ago because we had to adjust our ballot, but the ballots had already gone out. Like, it was an ordeal. So anyway, I had to do it, but I've had to do it for Arnold and for Peevely too. So it's not like a unique problem, but I just wanted to make sure like we remembered to do it. So when it's done, please send it and I'll make sure we get it recorded correctly.
And Glenn, I didn't want to
made
speak
note.
for you. I suppose you voted for me, but you never know. All right, great. Well, thank you, Marion. If you want to, maybe once you get back, and if you want to schedule a small little mini workshop, we could get together and look at that and give you some input on it, if you'd like.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, moving on to item M. Look at that, item M for mayor's report. Something lines up here good. All right. A couple items here to talk about. Frank and I were talking the other day concerning MIRMA or not MIRMA, but loggers, getting that brought in for the city for some type of pension program for officers and for all the city workers, and that we've gotten some additional information back from them. So there's an actuary report that you have to run through first before you can get any real, this is how much it's gonna cost you numbers. So in looking at that, I believe just based on the amount of headcount that we're talking about, it's gonna be around $900 to $1,000 to process that, but there's no way we could go to loggers without that actuary report to begin with. So if the board is in favor of even looking at that and considering that and understanding what the cost would be for a realistic pension program and something to, maybe, make it more attractive for people to work for the city, we would need to request that to be done. So it's my opinion. I think this is something good to do. I know we've talked about it quite a few times, but we probably should get that going, and at least so we can understand what it's going to cost us.
I think Mary Holden's pretty familiar with that too, from her previous experience with loggers, and almost all of the municipal police departments in the Jefferson County participate. And it is a point that is brought up in the hiring process when I'm trying to bring people. It's also a point that's brought up when I'm trying to keep people here.
It was actually brought up today. So I am looking into it. I think what we need to do is bring an actuary in, but I will get with Debbie and Frank.
Mary, we already have that information. Frank, do you want to forward that over to Mary?
Yeah, I got that this past February, Mary. I had Debbie and I had talked about it, and they sent me all the information.
Right, but yeah, we'll talk. We'll talk
That's
offline.
fine.
Not a problem.
I know you're familiar with it, so I definitely need your help with this. Thank you.
Yeah, it's just a form to populate out with some employee information, so they can then do the calculation of what it would cost us.
Okay.
Moving on, as far as fall festival goes, we're still looking at October 1st for fall festival. Is that correct, Deb?
It is, yes.
Okay. So have we contacted, I know we've gone through some rigorous work quite a few years and got this pretty well down to a couple spreadsheet lists and that, so it's not like we have to get together and talk about who we're bringing in and what, but has any work been done on at least contacting the vendors and let them know that it's our intention to have a fall festival?
I have talked to the Historic Society,
Mhm.
and they have contacted vendors. I personally have not contacted anyone else, with the exception of the Historic Society.
Okay. Yeah, we should, if the board's in favor of having the fall festival, which I think at this point, I wouldn't see why we wouldn't. It'd be nice to have some type of, public event. It's been quite a while, and I'm not sure what the current virus situation will be, but it's going to be out there. But we're just going to have to deal with it. But it'd be nice to have something like that for us to see the different residents again, and just have a nice event at the park.
Okay.
So Deb, if you want to either contact the vendors or have that done in some fashion, that would be probably good. Just to give them a heads up.
I will do that. Yeah, we'll post it on the website, and then I do have a past vendor list that we'll contact.
Okay, great. Thank you. Did want to mention Operation Clean Stream. That's coming up. I have a meeting tomorrow on that to discuss the details, along with there's going to be a website for people to sign up to participate, as well as you can always come up the day of the event and sign the waiver form and participate with us. We're targeting the weekend of the 20th with our rain plan for the 27th, and those are both in August. So I think the official clean stream date is the 20th, but since we control our dumpsters a little bit more, we can be a little bit more flexible with that. And once again, we're not going to put anybody in the river if the water's high or murky. But right now it's at 1.9 feet and just very clear. So it's be an ideal time to do it now, but we'll hopefully see it maintain that type of level of clarity going forward. Additionally, we may do the clean stream effort for 2 weeks, doing one from Rockford Beach down to City Park, and then another week from basically Bemler's, which is about a mile down from the City Park to Bud Myers' place, because we have a takeout there at Bud Myers, and we picked up, I think, 95 tires in that stretch last year. So there's a lot of stuff down there too that just doesn't get much attention, and it's nice to be able to do that because it's within the city boundaries as well. Let's see. Well, one other thing, Frank, I wanted to just ask you and Mary, I know you guys have been looking into this for animal control and that. Is anything progressed on that topic, or are we still sort of just trying to find somebody to assist us if the need occurs?
I reached out to the Humane Society and they gave me information on a state state animal control association.
Okay.
Who provides different information. I sent them an email last week and I have heard nothing in return. I am between a rock and a hard place on this one.
And I understand you got a lot going on.
I can't get any help from anybody outside the city. The police chief of Eureka even contacted me. He has no provisions for what to do in their area of Jefferson County for these kind of emergencies.
Basically, everybody within Jefferson County was relying on Jefferson County to supply the service, and they've backed out of that.
We're just relying on them. We were under contract. Well,
Yeah.
In my opinion, they're obligated to help us and they're refusing.
Yeah.
Mary, did you have any other information on this?
No, you summed it up pretty well. I know that there were some other thoughts on pursuing it, but nothing has been formalized. But no, we're we, along with every other incorporated municipality in Jefferson County, are in the same boat.
I've reached out to Open Door, that's the rescue I work with in the area. They cannot help us with violent dogs or vicious dogs. They don't have the training. That's not their forte.
Yeah, it's a difficult
This is
situation.
bad.
Yeah. Okay, well, didn't want to ask a hard question there, Frank, but I just want to keep it on the.
No, I'm
I
trying,
understand you're working on it, so thank you for doing
I'm
that.
reaching out, but I'm having zero luck. So I
Yeah,
don't know.
well, I'm not sure. I'm sure there's not a hell of a lot of people out there wanting to do that either. It's not a.
I mean, I would like to ask Bob if he knows of any options through some of the, if any, like, or Allison, if Peevely or Arnold has found any luck with this.
So Peevely and Arnold, for the most part, have their own animal control. So like Peevely uses Martin Veterinarian Clinic, and I can't remember. Arnold has their own like animal facility. I'm not sure what vet they use to treat the dogs, but yeah, they have their own facilities. So they weren't relying on the county.
Yeah, I mean, it's my opinion that Frank is correct. And unfortunately, I think this is one of those situations that it's as much politics as anything else. And until the residents of Burns Mill and perhaps the Burns Mill Police Department put enough pressure on the county to get back to providing this service to the county taxpayers who happen to unfortunately reside within the city limits, our only other option is to sue them on equal protection grounds. But then the city of Burns Mill foots the bill for the lawyer fees, and it's another example in a long line of activities by Jefferson County that smack of incompetence or ignorance or irresponsibility. And I hope Caitlin Mary doesn't put that in as a direct quote, but that's my feeling about it. I mean, it's indefensible. I mean, if their explanation is we don't have the human resources to do this, we don't have enough people, then they should fail to provide the service equally amongst all of the county. In other words, they should distribute their minimal resources to everyone. And the idea are arbitrarily saying those within municipal corporate limits don't get this service is an equal protection violation. There is no rational basis for it. Anyway, sorry, I'll get down off the soapbox.
And aren't we, Frank, you mentioned we're paying for this service in some form. So is there
Residents' tax dollars?
Okay,
Yeah.
but is it enumerated
I could-
out in our tax payments? So much goes for animal control versus everything else. So. Yeah.
We pay taxes to Jefferson County.
Yes,
Exactly.
but what I'm saying is, do they enumerate out in that tax that we pay to Jefferson County? This so much of your tax dollars is for animal control. It's just a general bulk overhead, I suppose. And part of
Yeah,
that.
Do they have a line item on their budget for?
They don't have a line item on their taxes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's no way to determine exactly what tax dollar you're spending, but I'm sure there is a line item for animal control or
Right.
interestingly, the multi-million-dollar facility that they just built is a stone's throw from Burns Mill.
Yeah.
I mean, I can handle most of the issues in-house. We can take care of a lot of our own things, but do not have the resources or the ability to take care of vicious dogs.
Sure.
I don't. And it's putting my people in that predicament is bad.
Oh, understood. So just once again, I know you're keeping focus on it, Frank, and I just wanted to bring it up in the meeting format here just to keep the board aware.
Frank, for an emergency measure, would you consider a trank gun?
I'll consider anything right now, Glenn. That's not a bad idea. I'll try and figure that out. I'll see if any veterinarians can provide me with some information on that.
There you go. Thank you.
Good
If
idea.
you want help on that, let me know. I'll look into it.
Arnold has a tranquilizer gun. The animal control has it. So you may want to reach out to Arnold, the animal control.
Also, has anybody gone to or have like, do we want to discuss the possibility of somebody going to a county council meeting to address this with the council? Like to say, I mean, like Frank would be a particularly good speaker, I think, just because he's our chief, and maybe Rob or whoever wants to go, but to say like, this is a real issue that we're having. And the reality when you don't have animal control in your city is that officers have to shoot dogs. Is that the standard of our community? Because you're judged as a community on how you treat your animals the most vulnerable. And if our response is we do nothing, is that who we are? So I think that may be something we could address in kind of a public way with the council to make, because I suspect half that council doesn't even realize what's going on. And some of them are going to be new come November. So it
I
might be an
suspect,
opportunity.
I suspect 100% of them don't know it.
Yeah, I mean, but it would like at least bring it to their attention, because I do think I'm dealing with a similar issue in Warren County. I represent a shelter that the county tried to shut down, and it's the only animal control in the entire county. They have nothing budgeted for animal control. So the reality is that these sheriff's deputies have to shoot dogs, and it's become a real issue. And once the governing board came to understand it, they have been very supportive. So it might be, a little bit more, instead of suing them, maybe we could ask first to see if that.
Probably a good option. Yeah, it's a good way to step into the discussion.
Yeah, so that might be something for us to discuss as a strategy moving forward. But I would think it might be beneficial to, just talk with them and let them know this is a real problem that we're facing, and we would like to go back to our contract if possible.
Well, we would like them to honor their contract that they
Right.
have, not go back to it. There's never been a cancellation per se. It's just they're stopped the service.
I think it expired.
It expired.
Oh,
Yeah,
it
they
expired.
refused,
They
they
just
refused
didn't-
to renew it.
on the grounds of expiration.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 But they didn't tell us
Yeah,
that they weren't
didn't
gonna
notify
renew it.
us.
So that was a nice thing to do, is
Yeah.
not give us any notice.
Okay. Well, good discussion, and then we'll continue to keep this on the list somewhere so we can keep pulse of it. But very good. Thank you. The last thing I just wanted to briefly touch about here is Second Amendment rights and weapons. Recently, we had a situation in Burns Mill where some kids were playing with a gun, and it went off, and another teenage boy was struck, and I believe he died from his injuries. So he now is that's the teenage boy that's never going to get to see his parents again. They're never going to get to see him grow up and grow through his life because there was a weapon that somebody chose to own. And I'm not by any means questioning Second Amendment rights. I support that, but I think with the Second Amendment and the right to carry a weapon also comes the responsibility to secure the weapon and be responsible with that, and don't leave it around where teenagers or other children, younger, you hear about this a lot down in the city too. Some little kids get hold of a gun and they're playing with it, and it goes off and they shoot their sister or brother or parent or whatever. So I'm soapboxing a little bit here, but I think it's important to say that if you're going to own a weapon, to be responsible enough for it, to secure it, so it doesn't fall into some unsuspecting hand, somebody that thinks it's a toy and does something that is life affecting and life altering. The situation I spoke of that happened here is horrible. The fact that a child is dead now is one, the worst thing, but then there's whoever had the weapon and fired it. They're going to have to live with that the rest of their life, with that memory that occurred. So it's just important. And I'll segue that into, if we have the fall festival, I think it'd be great for Frank's group to, maybe we could have some gun locks to offer out for free up there, have a little table and say, this is free to the citizens. They can't cost that much, just little cable locks that go through the gun, and it'd be really good to have, because I know there's a lot of weapon owners out here in the city, and that's worthwhile.
Didn't we offer those at National Night Out as well?
That might be good too. And I think, Frank, I meant to ask you, National Night Out. So we're talking about the Fall Festival on the 1st. Isn't Night Out right around that as well?
And National Night Out's on the 4th,
Good.
October 4th.
So potentially, Frank gets, a couple hundred gun locks and just has them available. I really think that's a nice service and something that the residents would appreciate.
A little an awareness initiative.
Yes, exactly. And like I say, the alternative is, if you prevent one situation like this from happening, that's one life we've saved, what's a life worth, so.
Right.
I'll stop my soapboxing on that now, but it's just, I feel strongly about that. It's just, you think of it and you feel bad for, the lives that now have changed forever because of one stupid mistake and kids playing with something they thought was a toy that wasn't. So. All right, moving on to item N, public forum. Deb, has there been anything received from the public as far as questions for the board?
We did not receive anything.
All right, very good. Then I'll move to item O, closed session. Believe we have a need for a closed session. So can I get a motion from someone, please?
I'll make a motion to adjourn to closed session for purpose of closed meeting, closed record, closed vote pursuant to RSMO 610.021, 1 legal, 2 real estate, 3 personnel.
I'll second.
Mary,
Aye.
Glenn,
Yes.
Cindy,
Aye.
and Galen.
Aye.
All right. Well, thank you for joining. We will adjourn this board meeting for now, and you all have a safe rest of the week, and we'll talk to you in a couple weeks.
Right.
See everybody later.
Thank you.
Have a good meeting.
Sure.
Okay, Lynn.
Thank you.
Frank,
Bye.
Frank, before you cut off,
What?
Frank,
Yes, yes. I'm
still
here.
there? No.
I'm here. You need me, Glenn?
Oh, there you are. Hey, so that device that I sent you that information on,
Uh-huh.
If we were to supply those to like the local restaurants, like if El Mariachi would have one of those in their counter somewhere.
They'd probably figure out a way to drink margaritas out of it.
Yeah, but if an officer delivered it to them and maybe gave them a quick training session on it, because we were lucky there was somebody there that knew that procedure.
Mhm.
And I don't know how many other establishments we have in the city that might benefit from having something like that.
Yeah, let me talk to Jamie Gwynn about it and see what he thinks about them first, and if he thinks they work. I pretty much run all my medical stuff through him.
Yeah,
And then we'll go from there, and I'll try and have something to present at the next board meeting for you.
very good.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
See you in a minute.
Okay.
Other side.